Hey, what's shaking, Kevin Bacon, and how you doing, Patrick Ewing? In today's video, we're going to be doing a study on COG. It's rare that I don't put out a short first before doing a long form, but I don't even know if I'm going to do a short for any of these because either they're too simplistic or in prototype stages. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at him first, then him, then this, but we're going to take the available COG bits from them and we're going to add it onto him. He currently has 2. I do want to see what he looks like with 4, and so let's go. And also, yeah, I just might be rearranging some things. So hold up while I burp and move these guys off the screen. One sec. All right, I didn't burp. I actually farted, but it's fine, dude. I had to relieve some type of gas in some way. But yeah, I know, pretty gross. But that's okay. So we're going to take a look at these two guys, and I'm going to show you some of the similarities and differences. The first thing you're going to be able to spot is the use of the COG legs on the bottom of the bots. COG was the first of the weaponizers, the build formers, to come out. And so I think there was a lot of intentionality. There was a lot of intention in using the feet as these kind of platform boots. They even advertise sideswipe like so. And so I think it works out natively that you just have them like that. If you wanted to give me a longer foot, you can extend that bit. But yeah, he does have the hollow toe syndrome over there. And so, yeah, we've kind of retracted it. Also on both arms, you can see that they're both utilizing the COG torsos as like a weapon. Both a little bit different. He has like an overslung blaster, and that's primarily with no transformation. This one I would say is a little bit more craftier, because you can see it's on the inside over here, right? There's a peg that protrudes from the bottom part of this that goes up. So we've underslung it, and then we've closed this around it, which I think is quite cool. And I had to reverse the hand to get the clearance on it. But I like that a lot, and more preferable to this because this is actually transformed to some degree. And in the DK Breaker, Blue Trailbreaker version, we've utilized the arms over here to kind of accentuate and beef up the legs. And for the case of Stankface, we had to use it on the back because there's just that kind of like gap over here, you know what I mean? Without this, it would just have this big negative space, and so we're using that to help him with stability. But yeah, it's pretty basic. The torsos, the lower half of the COG torso is used a little bit differently here. In this version, it's an underslung gimmick, and I think it does look really cool like that. We have his native gun, and then we have the 2 other ones. What was in there, Jer? So yeah, it's just like this. We have it plugged in on the top. We extend the little peg. And, you know, dude, I just love the modularity and just the versatile building capabilities that these earlier weaponizers had versus the later ones. They had like pegs and things like that could move up and down, that come out of recesses, very similar to 6 gun as well. And I don't know, man, they lost their way. They lost their way in the current versions. But all right, let me put them to the side. I got a little juice on me right now, meaning like I'm full of caffeine. So if I'm talking fast, that is what it is. Yeah, like I said, the arms are over here to accentuate the legs. And on the backpack, we just have this kind of plugged in, which is not entirely hateful. But this also comes apart, and I pretend that it's a little like drone or something. And this has a very specific angle in which it fits. So this is a gun that comes with COG, and when you plug it in here, it can't go in any other way. There's just no clearance unless you place it on the other side, which is what we did over here. So you can see there's a lot of similarities. And so if you have one COG, you kind of manipulate him in that way. Another thing that you could do is, you know what? You want me to try to combine 2 COGs on screen? Maybe we can do that. And I can show you some other aspects of COG that actually help me with Magnius builds later on. All right, by the way, this guy's color scheme is dope, dude. DK Breaker. I mean, he doesn't have another name like Steve or something like that, but they just called him because, you know, there's like Lift Ticket, you know, the yellow and red one. But this one, nah, homie's just called DK Breaker. Maybe that's Diaclone Breaker. Because, you know, I don't know if you know, but when Transformers first came to America, they were called Diacron. You know that? That was my first exposure to the Transformers in the States. My buddy had a Diacron sideswipe, and it was either Ratchet or Ironhide. It was one of them. But yeah, I just remember that thing looking mega derpy, and I was like, yo, this is whack. But sideswipe was dope, dude. All right, we have the two guys like split apart, right? And so we're gonna merge him together. Oh Lord, come on. So the core bot, you know, the baseline is going to be the standard cog body. We're not going to do anything too different with it. And so after we get that core bot, we're going to plug that in as the foot. And that's pretty nice in my opinion. By the way, you know, I normally do like pleasantries and I greet people and stuff like that, and I've totally been forgetting it. So I just want to say hi to everyone out there, you know, and I appreciate you joining me, and especially if you're watching this far. Sorry about that. Yeah. I consider myself your virtual neighbor, and also as a Korean American, you know, the Korean culture, we're very, very big on greetings and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I just want to make sure I say hi to everyone. Just been kind of forgetting and stuff, and just kind of whatever's. How are we doing this? All right. So this is the one thing that I was going to show you. So this is the cog arm, right? What you can do in order to make this a super arm, you grab this and you do that. And if you follow this channel, you've probably seen me do this with Magnius and a variety of other bots because it works out great. And then you can take one of these arms. And there's a way you can combine them together. But let's see. Let powers combine. So it'll end up being something like that, but that's not exactly how it is. I don't know if that's exactly what I was going for, but you can kind of see what I did there. And now we've kind of elongated his arm into more of a Voyager scale, because normally if we just use the standard scale, it would be right here, you know. And you know what? You could probably even put this up. Yeah, there you go. But having that at the bottom wasn't bad either. It kind of like filled out the chest. That's not terribly bad. I'll keep it like that. And so, yeah. Do that. Bring that over. Bring that down. And yes, it does kind of point back, but I just tell myself, I don't tell myself anything, dude. I just say whatever, dude, use your imagination. And yeah, pretend like it's Guyver or something with those like blade things on the arms. And so, yeah, that's really cool. And right here we have a very, very basic combiner, but I think visually, aesthetically, it looks very, very nice. And these other bits, let's figure out what we're going to do with these. The one thing that I don't like about Cog, and as I'll talk about a little bit more, is that the legs are very, very specific in that they have a very deeply recessed port to where these pegs connect. And because of that, there aren't too many bots in which you can do the whole mix and match. I want to say maybe Ironworks you can do that. I'm not entirely sure. But here, if we look back here, he has 2 ports and he has a peg. If you look over here, he has a peg and also 2 ports, but he also has these 2, which are ports. What's really interesting is I've often wondered, you know, like this is the back part of Cog, but when you flip it forward, it does kind of make it look like he has almost like a super mode waist. You know what I mean? Does it impede leg motion? Yeah, it does, but it does look kind of cool though. And just for the sake of visual aesthetics, let's just do that. And now he kind of looks like he has a proper waist and apron or whatever, right? I think that's okay, dude. We're only using him for the purposes of this video anyway. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fold these up, and I'm going to endeavor, hopefully, to get these right in there, and they have perfect clearance. And then we just kind of do that. Or if you didn't want to do that, and you just wanted to use the back piece, you can use that as the blaster, like we did earlier. Yeah, so let's say you didn't want this back there. Then, again, you can... You can use that bit, turn it into the blaster, you know. And I feel like, not to say anything bad about Hasbro marketing, because I think they do a great job, but if they really wanted to sell more of these, I feel like they should have evangelized this play pattern a little bit more, what's the word, like intentionally. Like they should have been like, hey, this is how you play with this, these toys. This is how you get the most bang for your buck out of these toys, you know, and just kind of really, really lean into it. And I would have been like, yo, I'm your guy, dude. Put me in, coach. I will help you with that. But yeah, I mean, at one point, like I was talking to Mark on LinkedIn. You guys know what LinkedIn is? It's this social media app for like people's professionals' careers and stuff. It's just like work Facebook, dude. That's what it is, dude. People share all the same garbage on there and stuff. And garbage, lol. I mean, yeah, it's more skewed towards work and stuff. Like it's supposed to be, but dude, it just looks exactly like Facebook when I look at it, dude. People just showing off, bragging, and talking about this fake life that's not really them. I shouldn't be so harsh, dude. But that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. And but that's any social media platform. The illusion of happiness. Curated lives that aren't real, that people try to market as themselves. All right. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I don't know if I've done this exact combiner before, probably in some iteration, shape, or form, but this looks pretty nice. And I almost want to give this guy a short. And you know what? I may do that afterward because he looks so pretty, dude. Back part works out really, really well. And no, he's very nice. He's very nice. Obviously, you could do this with 2 red cogs. You could do it with 1 Aragon and this guy. But whatever the case, here we are. And boom, beautiful. Using all the kind of techniques that I talked about, using this as a feat. One second, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Using these to extend the arms. This is a weapon. This is a backpack. Utilizing all the things that I just talked about, you know. And very, very cohesive, obviously, because he's 2 of the same bots. And so, all right. So moving to the side. Let's look at this guy. Things that I like about this guy and things that I don't like about this guy. I like the chest a lot. I like the fact that it kind of like covers all of that. It looks like it's more than just stuff draped on him. It just looks like he has armor. What I don't like, I think I could potentially rework the arms. I'm not going to completely take them off because they're kind of okay and they're a little bit unique. I don't like the legs though. I absolutely do not like the legs, nor do I like the feet. And so I'm going to remove these right now. Oh, some pieces of paper over there. And then this I'm going to remove too. But yeah, his arms are kind of like bent back over here, as you can see. But I do like this. I do like this a lot. Now I just need to kind of accentuate the rest of the bot, sorry, accent or accentuate, whatever, dude. I just need to upgrade, beef up the rest of the bot to kind of fit and meet that motif. I think I'm gonna, so this is a baseline. Like I talked about baseline. Dude, something's wrong with the foot, dude. Weird, dude. There's some stressing over there. Interesting. I've talked about baselines before, and why is this guy? Oh, the feet were not fully flat. I've talked about baselines before when it comes to building, and baseline is the bit that you don't compromise. You're going to build upon that, and so you don't really touch it. And so right now the baseline is this chest piece. Some new baselines that I want to establish. Potentially the feet. And now we are going to... Oop, sorry about all that. We're going to take this guy apart. Sorry, man. You look dope. I promise I'll put you back later, dude. Promise, boss. Promise, dude. All right. All right. So this is a leg that we just removed, right? this also, to some degree, kind of sits flush. So what I'm going to try to do is utilize this as the boot. And look at that. Look at that. That's not bad. That's not bad. Do I wish he was a little bit taller? Perhaps. Perhaps. But for the time being, that's not bad at all. It's not bad. Just get that fully seated. And doesn't look like he's crooked. Okay. Not too shabby, Gabby. All right, great. And so, but we still have a bunch of these pieces that we still need to use. We still have 4 complete torsos. And I don't want to just equip it in his hand. So I got to ask myself at this point, what do I want to do with these? What do I want to do with them? And earlier I talked about the legs being too thin. And so what I'm thinking in my head right now of doing is, you know what's funny? As I'm taking apart the double cog, I'm indexing like all the parts and the way he's designed. So I'm like, all right, so I can come back and do it later. It's funny how the memory works. You know, these days we have something called Google Brain. And what that is we don't commit stuff to memory anymore. We commit more of the brain to a process of accessing that memory, meaning like, I know where I put it. I can go on Wikipedia or I can consult Google. And so your brain memorizes the path on how to get there, on how to retrieve the answer, but you don't memorize the answer anymore. Because back in the day, dude, I didn't need a phone to memorize like all the important phone numbers in my life, all of my friends' phone numbers, my home phone number, my school, my church, my doctor. I knew these things by heart, dude. But now, dude, I don't remember anyone's phone number, and it's because Google Brain has affected us. So I try to make deliberate efforts to memorize things now, because I don't want that part of my brain to erode away, and it already has to some extent. Or I could just give in, just give in to technology and just straight give up, dude. Hold up, let me try to make him a little brighter. All right. So this is what I want to do. I want to get this. I want it to be here. Now maybe it's too bright. All right, whatever, dude. I want this to be here. I want it to look like that. But obviously it just can't connect in there. There's a peg over here. And if I were to add this, I mean, that would be the simple way. Do this. It's not entirely hateful, or even perhaps do something like that, which is also not entirely hateful. But what I really want is for it to sit flush. And this is a really tight connection. Jeez. Normally the 2 halves of the cog are quite loose. But what the heck? Hold on for a second. Yeah, I thought I had a piece of paper in there or something, but nah, dude, it was just mega tight, dude. This lower half piece is really nice. Because the other bits, yeah, see, this one's loose. Yo, this one's nice and tight, dude. Huh, didn't even need any paper or anything. All right. But like I said, the look that I want is this. So how do I achieve this? So we look, and we have these bits. This is what I have to work with. This, and this, and that. But if I want to put that here, I got to ask myself if there's any way I can utilize any of these other things to basically get me there. Or, so this obviously needs a peg because it's a circle, right? I'm wondering, can I if there's a way for me to doesn't seem to be. But right now I'm assessing, like, are there ways for this to hold this and do that? But no dice. I'm not coming up with anything right now. So what I'm going to try to do then as a, what's the word I'm looking for? When you, as a compromise, I'm going to try to get this in here. I'm going to try to wrap it around as best as I can, and there isn't quite clearance. So that's the best I could do. From the front, it looks kind of okay, but at the same time, it just kind of hangs. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, I may just have to compromise and utilize this bit, but not without trying, you know. I'm going to definitely give it my all. Or, yeah, so let's take a look to see what that would look. If that peg was just a little bit shorter, it would look the way I wanted it to look. But right now, it does not. And just make sure he's standing straight. Yeah, there we go. This doesn't do it for me. Not really. So, but I'm wondering, can this do something? Can I beef up that leg in any other manner then? I'm going to remove this for now because it's just causing the leg to flail around. See, I can plug that in there, but there's no clearance here, so that's not great. So hold on, these stop moving around. How annoying. But that doesn't mean things have to be perpendicular, like all the time. Yeah. So right now I'm racking my brain. I wish it wasn't like this. I wish it didn't have to plug in there. Or not plug in there. I wish there wasn't a gap. But that's fine. So this is fine, except that this just hangs off like way too much. And so if that's the case and it's like this, then ultimately I may just end up having to resort to something like that, which is not bad, but to be completely honest, I want to do more than just have that just kind of hang there, you know? And yeah, if I do that, I can kind of have that on there. But again, it wouldn't have been my first pick. This process that you're watching right now is how I build. And the kind of frustration, the tone that you hear in my voice is the tone that I have when I'm building it, when I'm talking to myself. When I'm like, yeah. I'm highly critical when I'm building things. And unless it tastes just right, like, I'll be bothered by it. I'll taste test it over and over and over. I'll look at it in different angles. I'll take it out to my wife and I'll be like, oh, what do you think about this? And I'll tell her the context. I'll be like, I'm trying to achieve this. What do you think? And then she'll be like, well, I think da 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 da, and then she'll give me some insight. I'm like, ooh, that's good. That's good, you know. But it's kind of like, I do need to give her context, because if she's like, what am I doing here? And by the way, looking at it in the viewfinder like that, yo, this looks pretty dope, dude. The proportions and the angles, I like this. I like this. He's slightly leaning to the, again, leaning to the right. I can't quite figure this out, but yeah. I'm feeling that, dude. From the front, it looks good. Let's see from the side. Yeah. The back is all right. The side is a little, but from the front, yo, that, ooh, almost cursed, dude. That, it's fire, dude. No, I think that looks way nice, dude. And, oops. Yeah, right like that. So the face isn't as, obscured. Good, good. Now we have our baseline. Now let's continue to build. All right, and I'm inclined to actually remove some of those parts. But that's okay. Let's see how it looks proportionately with it. All right, now in our hands right now, we have 3 lower waist bits. We have 2 more top torsos. We have 2 regs. And we have 4 arms. And I do want to use all the pieces on him. I am liking how this is coming out, though. This right here is very pleasing to me when I look at it. Oh, we brought that down a little bit. Now you can see more of the face. Heck yeah, dude. I almost cursed again. I watched myself on that one. And if you ask, like, dude, why do you have a tendency to curse so much? It's yeah, that's just the environment in which I was raised, you know. It's like, we didn't curse to, and I'm not saying that you should do this, but cursing is like a second language almost, you know. In certain times, to express certain things, that's what we did. But again, I certainly, and I'm not encouraging you to curse, because the vast majority, the populace will look down on you. If that's the only language you know how to speak, if you only know how to speak cursing, it's not going to be a good time for you in the in the corporate world. All right, this is what I'm kind of looking at right now. That's, and I could connect it there, I think, but the arm's going to be too long. I don't want the arm to be longer than that. I want it to come down no more than that, no more than past the knee a little bit. And yeah, I could probably do something with that just to have the arm like that, but it is a little thin. And sure, I could put this on the outside to make it beefaroni. Not enough clearance. I could do that, kind of, maybe. But we'll have to look at it in greater detail, because the connection port here is a peg at this angle. And so there's a couple of things that we could do. If we wanted to make the arm very posable, then this would be key. You know, utilizing this bit, because there's swivels, and there's pivots, hinges. And that is a pretty nice shoulder piece to build on top of. And then, because this part moves as well, you know. So that is not a bad shoulder piece. I may reverse it, though, to have that on the outside. And this also will give it a little bit more flexibility. I kind of like that. This as a forearm would not be bad. Yeah, I'm missing the fist at the bottom, but at the same time, that's not bad. All right, let me fiddle with one side first. Are you guys enjoying this video? It's 30 minutes in, and algorithm be damned, dude. Whatever, dude. I really don't care. I'm just gonna kind of like, I'm just gonna record until I'm done. So we could do that, but too lanky and too far outside. I don't like that. But I'm wondering if I could use this. And if I wanted to give him bicep bend, elbow bend rather. Oh, oh, oh. I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh, no, don't break, don't break, don't break. Oh, I don't like that. That was not a pleasing noise. This looks kind of cool. Kind of like has an Ultra Magnus vibe. If that's not terrible. It's not perfect. However, it's also not terrible. What if I just brought this up over here? It's not bad, but also makes me want to use a red guy. Use an Aragon up at the top, actually. That might be kind of cool. Or even like utilize this. I'll have to think about whether I want to do that, because that doesn't look bad. Doesn't look great, but also doesn't look bad. And what if I had that up further? What if I had that up here? Does that make the arm shorter? No, it makes the arm longer. Okay. All right. We're going to just go with that for now. I'm having fun. This is kind of cool. But yeah, this is what you're watching is my general experience, like when I'm building at home. This is what it's like. But usually it's like I'm either watching something with my wife, or I'm watching something solo, or whatever. But yeah, a lot of it is like you have something in mind, you want to endeavor to do it. But that is one thing that's kind of important, having a vision of like, what do you want to build? What are you trying to make? And I mean, sometimes you can just build stuff, you can just cook things without thinking about it, and that works too. But sometimes if you go in with a very deliberate plan, you know there's a goal that you're trajectory, that is your trajectory, and that you're heading towards that goal. I was like, that you're trajectorizing. I was like, I think I just made that word up, dude. But yeah, you set something as your North Star, your beacon of like, this is what I want to accomplish. And I'm not gonna lie, dude, that's not bad, man. It's not bad. I mean, we got to clean him up a little bit because I can see in the camera, like, he looks all crooked. Oh, I kind of fixed him. And then see, we just adjust that, and now we got those 4 spears kind of pointing up. That's not bad, man. Kind of feeling this guy. You know what I was thinking, dude? I was thinking, like, you know how Power Master Optimus Prime, he kind of has the belly. I was like, yo, it'd be kind of cool if I could figure out some way to, like, extend this engine down over here. Maybe. But I don't want to make him look too fat, you know? I do like the engine gimmick. I love the Power Master Optimus Prime, but I don't want to make him too tubby. I'll have to think about that. Because we still got these bits. And as it is right now, I'd be like, yo, that looks pretty good, dude. That looks pretty good. But I'm like, how would I, oh. If I did that, I could, this would have to be reinforced because I can feel that due to the weight, it's getting loose. That's not too bad, but he is getting kind of wide-clawed. I mean, it's cool that it connects. I'll just do it for the sake of doing it so we can look at it. I mean, because the Studio Series Magnus, yo, he's pretty wide-clawed too, you know? But once you get him in hand, he's not that bad. But yeah, he's pretty wide. Yeah, I feel like I've seen worse. Not to say that makes it any better, but yeah, that's kind of wild, dude. It almost gives him a Jetwing look, you know what I mean? And if I wanted to really play on that, like, I could try to add stuff like there, but it's getting a little too big in my opinion, and I don't want to add additional bits. And you know, I could throw more stuff over there, but it would really kind of just add additional bulk to that singular point of connection. The back of the leg, surprisingly, it looks pretty clean. The back looks rather nice. So at this point, it's 2 things. What do we do with this? And what do we do with these things, right? At immediate glance, when I look at this, I'm like, well, I could try to somehow wedge that. Like, I could try to somehow thread that into his fist over here so that it stands like that. Let's just see what that would look like from the front. And of course, it would be standing straight. It wouldn't be standing at that angle. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. But at the same time, I could also have that here as well, but it just makes the arm just look just too long. You can also fold this up into a smaller blaster. And then have that coming from here. Yeah, that's not too bad. Could also just plug that in over there, which is also not too bad. Could also have it here if we played at the spacing. Here, let me see what that looks like. If I get that in there, well, then this can't really move forward, and I did like that look earlier, so let me get rid of that and put this back to where it was. That was kind of like that. Yeah, I don't want to mess with that. I like those as is. Layer it on the front, I suppose. We could potentially do this and then cover some of this area. I'm shaking my head right now, actually. I'm just like, But I would say right now it's about 90% done. And yeah, the easy thing to do would just be like, well, put this here. And by the way, the fists of cog and like some of this connectivity is really loose. It's always been like that. And there's a little bit of a clearance issue. Minor, but sure, let's put that there. I can feel the robot heaving under the weight of these additional parts, because he's carrying 3 robots on top of him. And so Optimus, I appreciate you holding it together. So that's pretty cool. The back looks very good. We still have this. We still have that. And we don't have to, obviously, do anything about that, but I would certainly like to. And the most obvious thing that comes to mind for me, at least right now, is, like, I could flip this down, but this is too recessed, or at least I think it is, for it to... Oh. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of pretend that it's a Power Master gimmick, but I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. It looks a little chub, and I don't know how I feel about that. This is a really tight fit, so I'm not going to bother with Optimus's blaster. But, now I'm going to figure that out later. And we have these bits over here. In terms of where are we going to layer them, I don't know. There's lots of places we can do, or we just may not use it at all. Or may put them here or something. I don't know, dude. I'll figure it out, but I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. At this point, all the major bits, all the major limbs and pieces, torsos and stuff, they've all been used, and so I consider this mission accomplished. And I hope you had a good time. And if I seem to be in an ornery mood, then I probably am. And sorry about that. I don't know. I think it looks good, actually. I think it looks way better than what we started with. And this is probably going to be the one that gets the short, and also that double cog as well. The individual guys that we saw earlier, DK Breaker and Stankface, they're not going to get there. They're not going to get their armored versions on the shorts. I may build something with them later on, but maybe even combine them somehow. But for the time being, yeah, for me, for you, for Cog, for kind of Cogger Master Optimus Prime, I'm Botbender, and I appreciate y'all being here and generating 45 minutes of your time. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, 45 minutes of my time too, huh? Anyway, friends, I'll talk to you later. Peace. Bye.